So as you said, my names are Mariam Abdallah. I am the Executive Director of Young Women Support Center. So Young Women Support Center is an organization that supports young women in the community. The kind of support that we offer mostly is psychological support. We help people who are going through mental health issues, or they are affected by stress or any other thing.
Right.
Like, we assist them, we guide them, and we tell them what to do. We also do women empowerment, whereby we empower fellow women in the community. We also do adolescent, we do girl-child education, we do gender-based violence and other issues that are related to young women.
Right.
Yeah.
And from the fact that you've mentioned to me that Young Women Support Center, you offer advice, also you do women empowerment, and looking at your age, is it possible, and how do you get to juggle between?
Okay, age is just a number, and I'm not that
That's what
young.
everyone says.
Yeah, the world says, but I'm not that young because I'm educated. I have a degree. I graduated 1.5 years back. So I'm a person who's learned, and I feel like at my age, it's
Right.
the best age for me to help people in the community. It's not always those people with older ages or those who niseme wamekoma hivyo ndo wanaweza kufanya hivyo. Even we young ladies, we can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah, so nothing is impossible.
Yes, we can. That is what Barack Obama used to say.
Yeah.
But of course, coming back to our topic of discussion, and let's begin from laying the foundation right here. And from the few women and young girls that you've met and you've talked to in your line of duty, how are issues about mental health currently?
Okay, the situation is really not good on issues related to mental health. People are suffering out there. People are going through issues that they lead them to commit suicide or do anything harmful to themselves, which is really bad because like, there's something that needs to be done because of the suffering that people are going through. So that's why I also decided to come up with this organization that's going to help those people out there.
Right.
But the situation is really bad. Actually, mental health issues right now are considered to be a global pandemic. This is because 1 in 3 women in the world are suffering from mental health.
True. Right. We'll be coming back to some of the few causes that are making our women and young as well. And also, you're mentioning to me, also men are becoming to suffering from mental illness of the same. We'll be coming there. But from what you've explained to me, and the fact that you've entered and ventured into this issue of talking to people about mental health and offering some bit of psychosocial support, how far have you gotten to? Do you see results from the efforts that you're doing?
Yes, we do see results from the effort that we do, or the ways that we use to overcome these psychological problems that people are facing. There is a change that's happening. We can't be 100%, but at least we are trying to help people out there in the community. We are saving lives.
Right.
Yeah.
Any barriers, hinders?
Sorry?
Any problem and challenges that you're facing?
Yeah, a lot of challenges. There's nothing without challenges. There are lots of problems that we face, but we don't give up. We just continue working, and we do what we're meant to do.
Right, of course. And currently, there is quite a lot happening in relation to most people who are undergoing various stages of their life. Something may have happened to them that have caused some bit of mental instability. Some of these issues, one of them can be getting into gender-based violence. And it's quite a matter that has been quite a focus and a concern nationwide. It has been spoken. Just recently, there was that 16 days activism of gender-based violence, and the issue of mental support and offering psychosocial support for these victims was being mentioned there. And looking at where we are as a country, even looking down as a county here in Mombasa County, do you think gender-based violence has been handled to some extent that you feel maybe, yes, we are proud to say we are handling it properly?
As Kenyans, no. If something is being handled well, then there is a possibility, maybe 90%, that thing won't be affecting people in the community. But gender-based violence is something that's really affecting people in the community, not only women, but also men. All of them become victims of gender-based violence. And the country, like I don't see much effort in that. It's like something that is being ignored. People just assume like this is just normal, this is just things that are happening in the community, this and this will happen and then it will just pass. So people don't pay too much attention to it. That's why more people are suffering day by day.
Right.
So I don't think if there's much effort put in that.
And amongst those who are being faced by gender-based violence and fall prey to the people who in some kind of way, do stuff to them, our women and our young girls. And I believe you've also mingled and talked to a few of them. If you can give us a clear picture of what goes into the mind of someone who has undergone such a thing mentally, how things are, how is it?
Okay, gender-based violence is a situation whereby affects people so much psychologically. This is because those people who undergo gender-based violence, there are some things that happen to them and they just change the way they feel, the way they act, and the way they think about themselves.
Right.
It lower their confidence and make them feel like they are worthless in this community. They feel like I am not a very important person, that's why this and this is happening to me. So gender-based violence is, let me say, a major cause that causes mental illness in the community today. So there is that connection between the two.
Right. And from what you've explained to me, it seems to me that if I today go through gender-based violence and it affects me mentally, how long can it take for me to recover, for instance?
Okay. First you have to learn to accept you as a victim. So if you accept, it will be easier for you to heal quick. But if you do not accept the situation that happened to you, then it's going to take a lot of time. There are people who live with that mental health issues because of GBV, because of what they have suffered before. Till today, maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, others even 30 years ago, it happened. We have a case whereby someone who was affected when she was so young, like GBV, happened to her, a case of rape. And then she lived, now she's 25 and she was just 5 years. Till today, she's still suffering from mental health. Like she's still disturbed.
Right.
Yeah. And so it depends with how you take it, how you want to accept. You have to accept that this happened to me, so I have to let
that acceptance that you're talking about, the acceptance that you're mentioning here, how do I do it?
To accept. You have to, okay, for example, you feel like there's something that disturbs you and you feel like you need to talk to someone.
Right.
There are people out there who support those people who want to talk about what they're going through. So it's better if you talk about it. So you go to those organizations or to those people who they support you in this, you talk to them and they guide you through a process that will help you to recover. So talking is very important.
Very key. Yeah. Coming out and speaking out. And of course, the issue about speaking up has been quite a challenge, especially to the men, and we'll come back to it. But there was an article that I've just mentioned during my first segment of the show, looking at the newspaper review, about how our police and men in uniform are suffering from mental health. And according to this report that, of course, was being discussed yesterday, 12,000 officers are battling mental illness, and 1 in 10 have suffered from mental illness. And this is happening while you guys are there who are talking to people about mental health. Don't you think to some extent we may say that you're doing little about it?
Okay, men are people who are not likely to talk. If something happened to them, they prefer keeping it to themselves. They feel like if I talk, they're going to think like I'm low, I'm not a man. That's what they feel. So I better keep it to myself. I don't speak about it. So that also affects them, and that's why later on you come and realize that most men are affected. By the time they talk, it might be too late, or it might be a time when a larger population has already been affected. So it's not that we are not putting much effort in that, but it's because the people who we want to talk to, they are not willing to open up, and we cannot force them to open up. Right. We are just going to convince them, but we cannot force them. Yes.
Now, for the fact that you've mentioned men, and I believe there are men who are watching us here, and we men coming out and speaking about issues that we've undergone, it's quite a challenge for various reasons. I know you know them.
Yes.
Mwanaume kukuja kuongea, it's quite difficult. If men are watching and you need to advise them on matters about coming out and speaking, what can you say to them?
Okay, I will tell them keeping quiet or staying silent is never a solution. The more you talk, the more you get a relief. So it's better for them to speak. You cannot heal when you cannot speak. Speak. No one is going to judge you. No one is going to say that you are not a man just because you spoke. Even men suffer, not just women suffer. You suffer. We understand that we are all human beings in this world. So talk. Don't stay silent. Talk to us, speak to us, tell us what your problem are. We are not going to tell people, or we are not going to tell the world that so and so came to me saying that he's going through this, or maybe his wife is beating him. No, we are not going to do that. So you better speak, find someone, or find people like us. We are here to help you. We are here to assist you. So talk, don't keep quiet.
Right. Now, between the few cases that you've handled, I know in your capacity as the executive director of that organization, you've gotten to get to talk to people about this. Now, compared to women and men, who is more easier to deal with in terms of advising and giving directions in relation to psychosocial support and mental illness?
Okay, women. Women are much easier to talk to and convince them to get out of the situation that they are going through.
Right.
Because, you know, if you talk to a woman, it's easy to convince. Like you talk to her, you tell her that you need to do this, you need to do this, you involve them in different kind of things which help them like change their mind so fast, more than a man. A man feels, you know, even me as a woman, I face challenges that if a man comes and he's like, she's just a woman, how can I even listen to her? No, she's just talking this and this, which is not okay for me. So even that attitude that men has, it's hard for us to convince them. So a woman becomes easier to handle.
Right.
Yeah.
Looking at the first question now about offering psychosocial support. And somebody is wondering, why are we even talking about psychosocial support and also including mental health? How are they intertwined?
Okay, mental health, it's the way a person feels, act or think. It's a condition that someone goes through. While psychosocial support is the support that is given to a person who has been affected by mental health issues. Yeah, so the relationship is that mental health is the condition itself, while psychosocial support is the support that is given to that condition.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So this other one is the support given to the condition.
Yes.
And the condition is the mental health.
Yes.
Right. That's why they are intertwined. And which one comes first now?
Mental health. You
Mental
cannot
health.
go through psychosocial support
Before?
if you've not undergone mental health.
Right. And when we are mentioning about mental health, if I walk into your facility, for instance, something has happened to me, maybe I've undergone something, let's say, for example, I've gotten into gender-based violence, and I walk into your facility to seek help, where do you begin from?
Okay, first it will be determined by the approach that you come with. If you come, you are in a confused manner, maybe someone else brought you and tell us that he have been going through some issues, this and this and this, and now he's like this, we don't understand him, so we brought him to you or her to you so that you can talk to him or her.
Right.
So when a situation like that happens, the first thing we do, we talk to that person about the importance of speaking out.
Right.
If you are going through any issue, it's better you tell us, you speak, we are going to help you, we are going to do this, and then now we start giving them example, like someone came, he or she was going through this situation and this situation, but then he talked and we did this to him or her, and then he got treated. So if it's that situation, the first thing is we tell them the importance of speaking out. After that, we tell them now to speak and tell us what they feel. So we understand when they tell us that this is happening to me, or I feel this, I don't feel like eating, I feel like being alone.
Right.
We can understand the situation that that person is going through, or we can try and reflect the kind of problem he or she is facing. So he or she speaks, and after that now we tell them that it's not only you suffering, there are also people out there who are suffering, but you are here to get assistance from us, we are going to help you. So we comfort them, we provide that comfort situation to them. After that, now if a therapy is needed or counseling is needed, we do them accordingly.
So you also offer counseling and therapy?
Yeah, different types of therapy, different kind of counseling, we do that. And from that, from the situation that you're going through, we get to know which therapy you need.
Right.
So we offer that therapy, and most likely after that, everything goes okay. And
Is it a one-day stuff?
No. It's a process.
Right.
Yeah, it's a process you have to go through for a while.
So you have in works time and again, like for instance, I can come today, then you also slot me another day to come for another session.
Yes.
Okay. And if somebody feels to some extent that getting this psychosocial support and getting advice on mental health about issues that you guys do, we may feel to some extent that it's quite costly and time consuming. Is it so?
Okay, the reason why I started my own organization that deal with mental health, it was because I myself went through depression. And there was a time I felt so helpless. I really wanted to talk, but I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to. If I say I go and see a psychiatrist in the hospital, they have to charge me a lot of money. So I was like, why is this happening? That means if I decide to kill myself, I will do so anytime, just because I have no one to talk to. So after healing, I thought, maybe why shouldn't I start an organization that I'm going to help people free of charge, so that if they want to talk about anything, they have somewhere to go and talk to without giving money.
Right.
Yeah. So my organization, I don't make people pay anything. It's free of charge.
Right.
Yeah.
And for the fact that you've mentioned about the matter of getting to pay for seeking advice from a psychiatrist and those professionals who are handling matters of psychological support here, don't you think are also some of the reasons as to why we are not helping these people, and that they may even end up doing worse things compared to, like, for instance, the kind of committing suicide like you mentioned?
People are not helping maybe because they are not willing to. You know, if you want to do something, nothing should stop you. Just like myself, nothing stopped me. Even if people have to pay outside, but I was there to support those people who are not able to pay that money. So I don't think if that is related.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, there was a time that the psychiatrists here were being told off that you know, they should try and be considerate. People need advice out here, and there are professionals who have been trained and they have the capacity to offer the advice, but they do it at very costly and it's quite expensive. And you know, to most those who are suffering at the grassroots level, it may be difficult for them to get to where these guys are. Don't you think it's high time also they should be considerate to some extent?
Yes, they should be. You know, if you have that knowledge or you have that ability to do something, then try and help people around you. You don't know how many lives you're going to save, especially for the psychiatry thing. You know, people are committing suicide out there, and you are there with your knowledge, you're just waiting for money for you to be able to help people in the community. Why do you have to do that? That means you don't have that humanity in you. You feel like, I'm just doing this thing for money. Even it's not your passion, it's not your interest, you're just doing it to get that money. So I think those people who have that knowledge or enough knowledge in these issues, they should also consider people in the community. It's not a must for them to give money to be treated. Use that knowledge that you have, or that ability of yours that you have, to help people in the community. You're going to save lives of many people. Yeah.
And talking about mental health and psychological support here, there is a point that you've mentioned here. Yes, I may decide to come and talk to you, and from there you give me the necessary advice that I'm supposed to be having, and I walk out. Now, once I get home, back home, out from you guys, do I also still need to do some bit of stuff and things that will make me recover?
Yes, you know, if you just stay idle, you will still think about the things that happened to you. So most of the time, after doing all the therapies or the counseling to that person, we engage them in activities or the support groups that will help them to keep their mind busy. Because if you just sit, especially to those who are not working, it becomes difficult for them to get off that situation. So even in my organization, I have members in my organization who are, I took them as a result of the mental health issue. Like they suffered, and I felt like if they just stay idle at home, it will be useless. Whatever I did is not going to help. So the only thing for me to do is to help them by engaging them, keeping them in my organization and engaging them in different activities.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. So, of course, you should not let your mind be idle, and to allow those memories and those things that you had gone through earlier to come back to you. But also, the role of the community in supporting people to recover out from their mental status and issues, about also offering psychosocial support. Does the community and the neighbors and the society have a role to play also?
Yes, they have a role to play. Because, for example, if someone is going through a mental issue and then they come to the community, let's say just there in the Maskanis or any group, maybe they come and talk to you like, you know, today, let's give an example of a man maybe at home, his wife is beating her, the wife is controlling the house, and then he comes and sits with you and say, you know, my wife is doing this and this and this to me. Then you start criticizing, or you start telling that person, like, how can you accept a woman to do this to you? How can you should not accept that. You should beat her, you should do this, you should also reciprocate what she's doing to you. Or maybe, you can't live like that, just go and kill yourself. So that person will say, people are telling me to do this, let me go and do it. So what you tell that person really matters. So as a community, it's our responsibility to understand what people are going through. If someone approaches you to come and tell you about something, appreciate the confidence or the courage that someone got to come and talk to you. You should tell them what to do, and you should guide them, you should give them good words, you should understand them, and also work with them, engage them in different issues that will help them to overcome the issues that they are going through. Do not criticize these people. Yes.
Right. Do not criticize these people. My guess is what is saying here in relation to offering psychosocial support and issues about mental health. But then there's this culture that most people nowadays speak about. Utasikia wanakwambia kwamba pambana na hali yako, which has been the talk of town, and most people are trying to feel that shame and trying to feel, no, I might go and speak about my issues, and people will go around talking about it, and I'll be the talk of the town, and I'll be the talk of the village. How do we get to kill that culture now?
Okay, you know, people in the community, especially in our Kenyan community, like they really have that habit of that criticizing others. They feel like, why should I help him? I have my own problems. Why should I assist him in this? Pambana na hali yako. And they say that, which is really bad. Because you don't know, that's what that you told that person how much it's going to affect him, even much than the stress that he's going through. Right. So as a community, you should, you know, watch your words before telling a person. You don't know what that person is going through. Make sure you don't do something bad to others, or you don't speak something bad to others, because you also wouldn't like same thing to happen to you. Right. So you should change that views in yourself. You should know that it's my responsibility as a member of a community to help others. I should not do this and this. I should not criticize people. I should not say bad things to people, because I don't know how much they will affect them. Understand? If you don't want to help, then keep quiet. Don't talk about it. Right. But don't make them feel bad about themselves.
Right. The government, is it doing much in helping out people and also engaging them in matters about mental health? Is the government doing much?
No, I feel like the government is not doing much. There is a lot that need to be done, especially from their side. Like they should organize programs, they should organize specialists to go in the community and talk to people about issues related to mental health and all that. So for me, I feel like the government is not doing much, and they really need to improve on that. Yes.
Right. And especially now that we are headed into a general election, like 194 days to go, that is close to 7 months, and everyone is talking about politics, and we are putting focus much on matters about politics, forgetting there are people out there who are suffering internally, mentally. They are going through stuff that they need help. Don't you think also during this time it's better for us also to try and create awareness about these issues and also finding these people so as we can help them? In as much as we are doing politics, we should also make sure that the common mwananchi's mental stability is well off enough.
Yes, I think that's really needed at a time like this, because the main focus is on election, but also there are people out there who suffer, even due to election. Like there are people who overthink, they feel like maybe the election will do a harm to them or something like that. So I think it's important, especially for the government, to make sure that they create programs that are going to help people in the community to understand, like they give a talk that will prevent them from getting any mental issues at a time like this, and also those who are already suffering, they should also create a program for them, enable for them to heal fast. Yes.
And right now there are so much many organizations that have come on board to talk about these issues, the likes of yours, and I'm thinking, and I want to know exactly what are some of the few push that are making more organizations to talk about these issues, including you as well.
As I said earlier, that mental health issues right now are actually a global pandemic. So when the whole world or the whole community or the whole Kenya get to understand that mental health is something that's really affecting people in the world today. So from that only, it made people feel like, I think we should come out and speak and talk to people on issues related to mental health. That's why an organization like mine come and do issues related to mental health.
Right.
Yes. And also the fact that those who are specialists in these sectors, they charge a lot of money to heal people who are going through psychological effect. So again, we feel like why shouldn't we come out to help the community instead of making them pay money? They just come to us for free and we get to help them in one way or another.
And supposing you guys, you were not there, and all these organizations were not there, and how would the situation be, for instance?
I think the situation would be worse. Because, okay, right now in Kenya, it's 40% of the women are suffering from mental health issues. So I'm sure by then, maybe if this organization were not there, perhaps even 80% or 70% would have been there. But I feel like we are also making a contribution to the community. Not 100%, but at least we are doing something.
Right.
And I hope that can be seen out there and people understand that we are there to help them. Those who want to speak, they can speak. Those who feel like we need help, they can come for help, and it's going to help even more and more people in the community.
Right. And I'll ask you about the few challenges that you guys are facing in line of advocating and talking about issues of mental health and psychosocial support. How do you think you can be helped to overcome some of those challenges that you're facing?
Okay, we are going to do what we are supposed to do. But if we are the only people putting that effort to do that thing, to help those people with mental health, then it's not going to make much effect compared to if people in the community, people in the government are going to help us.
Right.
So we really need that support from people for us to be able to help those people even much more. If we are going to help 10 people, and among those people, there are people who they are affected, maybe they are men, and they are affected because some problems are happening or some challenges are there between them and their wives. Then they come to us, they talk to us, we advise them, go do this and this, and then they go back to the community. They say, today I went to Young Women Support Center, they told me to do this and this. No, don't listen to them. How can you accept a woman to do this to you? How can you accept this and this to happen to you? So they're pulling them down. We are trying to pull them up, but they're pulling them down. So we need even them to cooperate for us to be able to help these people, because they really need our help.
Right. If somebody is watching and is hearing for the first time about Young Women Support Center and is wondering, where are you guys located? What have you done for the women? And what are some of the few things that you're looking forward also to do?
Okay. So Young Women Support Center is based in Ganjoni, and it operates across all the coast, like the Mombasa, the Kwale, the Kilifi. We operate across those counties, and we do different issues about girls. Even we help men. It's not that we just support young women. No, we also support men. It's just that our main focus is women.
How do you support men?
We support them. We give them the same treatment that the women need from us, or we give the women like that. So we support them. We are also here to help them, and it doesn't matter, like any time that you feel like you want to talk, you are an old woman, you are a young girl, even children suffer from mental health. So anytime you can approach us, we are ready to help you. Yeah.
Right. Have you ever gotten to help somebody and you felt if we did not come to the rescue of this guy or this girl, maybe things could have been worse? Do you have that kind of experience that you can share with us?
Yeah, we have. There was a time when there are people, not actually a person, whereby they were going through so much mental health issues, and it's like they were trying to harm themselves in one way or another. So they were brought to us. We try and
harming themselves in what way?
Harming themselves, like cutting themselves, trying to kill themselves, overdosing, like that, overdosing. We've get cases of overdosing, like they try and overdose to kill themselves, but they didn't die, luckily. So they were brought to us and we try and talk to them. You know, it's a process, so you have to take it slow for them to be able to heal, like slowly. If you just decide to take them like quick like that, it's not going to work.
Right.
Yeah, you have to follow that procedure.
True. And do you have like a rescue center or something?
No, for now we don't have a rescue center.
And so if somebody walks into you and gets the advice, you do your monitoring from, you can do the monitoring while he or she is at home or elsewhere?
Yeah, sometimes we even go to them, to their homes, and then we talk to them, we tell them. We don't have that center whereby we keep them there under our surveillance. No, we don't do that.
True. Right. So where do you look forward to get in the near future with your organization?
Okay, my organization is actually a starting organization, so we still have a lot of expectations. We are still nowhere, but we really want to be somewhere, and we are looking forward to help the whole community or the whole Kenya, not only the coast people. And we are expecting that maybe in 2-3 years to come, we will be a big organization or maybe a big NGO that will be recognized for supporting people in issues related to mental health, especially mental health, but also any other issues. So let's hope and let's pray that we are getting recognized out there and people understand what we are doing, so that we can grow and become a big organization that supports people in the community related to mental health issues.
Right. And if I'm supposed to be a mental health service giver or psychosocial support giver, do I have any skills and training that I'm supposed to be undertaking?
Yeah, you have to have some skills, and also you have to undergo like trainings, or maybe some people studied from the university, others have degree in psychology, others have diploma, others have certificate. But there are also trainings who are given to these people so that they can be able to support others in the community.
Right.
But also, you know, you cannot just give a one-day training to a person and then expect that person to help a person who is a critical victim of mental health issue. Yeah, so there are also levels of people who can assist. And beside that, also there are skills that this person have to have. You have to be open-minded, you have to be polite, you have to be patient for you to be able to help these people. If you are not understanding, if you are not a good listener, then there is no way that you're going to help this person.
Right.
So you have to have that patience, you have to be open-minded, you have to have that confidence, you have to be someone who can keep secrets. Not that a person comes to you, talk to you, and then you go and talk to other people in the community.
Confidentiality.
Yeah.
Right. And if somebody wants to join you guys and be part of a Young Women Support Center, how do they get to reach you?
Okay, we are all over social media. We are there on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as Young Women Support Center. We are there in, like my number, 0740 131510. 0740-131510, and then our email ywsc.ke@outlook.com, or DM us on Instagram anytime. Young Women Support Center will be there to assist you.
Mombasa.
Not
But you're across, but the offices are within Mombasa?
Yeah.
But you're across?
Yeah.
So if somebody is in Bomani area, Kwale County, Kilifi,
Yeah.
Mavirivirini, there's one cameraman of guy here, he comes from Mavirivirini.
Okay.
They can get to you.
Yeah.
True. Right. And we are so much grateful for your time. We do appreciate. And also we are looking forward to having more conversations with you guys and support what you also do. And anytime that we need these kinds of discussion, we'll get to you. And we're so grateful. And last but not least, and I know this is quite outside from whatever we are discussing, you know, how is it like to have youths engage into matters about offering services, psychosocial support and mental issues? How do you guys even get to balance between your youthness and discussing issues that, you know, to some youth may appear to be irrelevant, if I may use that word?
You know, people think that youth cannot do things because they're too young to involve themselves in issues like what we're doing. But not everyone is the same. You know, some people are really focused. They really want to do something to help the community because maybe they grew up in an area that they understand that people are going through a problem, but you just can't say anything. You just look at them and you're like, okay. So it reaches a time when you feel like you want to help. So I think it's good for the community to give chance to the youth and young women in the community so that they can also show what they have for them. They may be a rescue to you. You may just ignore them and feel like they're young, they cannot do this, they cannot do. But trust me, it's those youth who are going to change your life. So just view them differently and believe that these youth are even open-minded compared to even the old days. Like we are more learned, we have more access to the technology, so we have much knowledge about things.
Right, of course, and you're taking up your spaces.
Yes.
Very true. Right. And also, somebody had asked a question here about whether if Young Women Support Center is anyway related with politics and a politician. Do you do some?
No.
No
Young
way.
Women
It's
Support
purely
Center does not associate itself with any kind of politics. We offer all kind of support, but not financial support and political support. We don't do that. Yeah.
Right.